for me, what she was putting forth doesn't compute, because at one point you're saying you want to submit, and at the other point you're saying basically it's kind of a partnership. So girl, what are you talking about?
Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Coucou, what's up? Your name is Kadija, aka the musingknomad, and I'm back for a reaction, I guess you can say, of Jeannie Mai's stance on submission on a recent episode of The Real. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Help your girl get to 1,500 subscribers. Check out my other videos. I recently just did a Zara haul, H&M haul. Watch them, check it out. Let me know what you think. Cop them pieces, girl. And let's get started. So I noted a few things, and I'm just gonna talk about some of the things that she said and, you know, my personal views on it. So let me just let you know, okay? I am anti-patriarchy, patrilineality. Okay? I'm not for patriarchy in any sense of the word. So now you know that. And also, I'm not religious. Now you know my stance. And this is coming from a perspective of a feminist, womanist perspective. So most likely, you know, you may not agree with my point of view about a lot of stuff that I'm going to say. And it is what it is. Like, I don't agree with a lot of your points of views about shit, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, my thing is, whatever you decide to do in life, as long as you're not harming anybody and it's making you happy and bringing you joy, girl, do you. Do you, okay? But at the same breath, please don't try to push forth your ideologies on other people. Okay? So let's get into this video. So one of the things I'm glad that Jeannie did do when she brought about the conversation, she gave a definition of the word submit. Right? She gave a definition for that. And I think something that, I don't know if you guys touched on, I felt like she kept conflating her points of views and her ideas, because it didn't make sense. Because at one breath you're saying, you know, yes, submission, and at the other breath you're basically saying partnership. Girl, which one is it? Which one are you talking about? Because you're not making a lot of sense to me, okay? But before we get into that, one thing I want to touch on, right? I've never been a watcher of The Real like that. I've seen episodes here and there, but I've never been a watcher of the show. Like, it is what it is. But I feel like when we look at Jeannie Mai as a person, let's look at her relationship when she first started on The Real with her white man, and now with this guy, Jeezy. I don't know his name, but him. So when we look at Jeannie, unfortunately, is one of those people who changes herself depending on the partner that she's with. And I say that to say, let's look at her recent guy and her ex-guy. Remember when she was with her ex-guy, all about cowboy this and that and whatever. Like, you know, really trying to like live into the representation of whatever he idealized. And now it's with this guy, she's like changing her style as well and trying to like live into this idealized version of whatever he expects of her. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm like, girl, from what I'm seeing, and I don't know the girl, this is just things I've seen, things I've picked up on. It's like you've drastically changed. A lot of your thought processes have changed. Like, how did this come to be? And it's not about fucking maturity. The girl's in her 40s, I think, or late 30s, early 40s. She's been mature since, okay? And as we grow, we get more mature. Yes, true. But it's like, how do you as a person change yourself, morph into whatever this person expects of you or wants from you? And for me, unfortunately, I think that's really sad. And there's a lot of people that do that will change themselves because of their partners. And it's a shame. For me, I think it's really a shame. And I say that to say, when she first came on The Real, as we know, she talked about never wanting children. That's not something she wanted. And, you know, her and her ex-man didn't work out because later on he changed his mind and he wanted that. And now all of a sudden, now you want this. I'm like, girl, what? And let me tell you this is not about because you met someone new that's totally changed your whole worldview of the world. That's why, you found the right person. Now you're going to change. No. If there's something within you that it's a hardcore belief, a true belief for you, you are not going to let that change because somebody's entering your life. For example, for those people that are extremely religious and God, whatever is important to you, if you were to meet an atheist that's against this, that's not within your core values, Really, you really think you're going to change your point of view because of this person? You get what I'm trying to say? So let's look at me, for example, right? I do not honor the marriage. I do not believe in the institution of marriage. And at the same time, I am for marriage equality. If marriage is your end all be all and you think this is something that's important, bravo, go do it. For me personally, I don't believe in the institution of marriage, but I'm also not going to be saying blah blah blah, I think it's dumb because I think it's dumb, and say and sway you to not do it or whatever. At the end of the day, you live your life. If they're happy with it, do you. You get what I'm trying to say? But there's not going to be any men, and they know when they come to me, they know my point of view with regards to that. There's no man that's going to come into my life and this is a core value of mine that's going to sway that decision. You get what I'm trying to say? So for me, it's like if you've had certain core values and being with a certain person can completely change that, girl, like you really got to dive in deep and really look within yourself to figure things out, because that doesn't make sense, right? So I'm saying all that to say, just, you know, trying to paint a picture for you. So now let's get back into the show. She, you know, gave background about her family growing up and how her mother was basically the head of the household and making decisions, and her dad just kind of went along with it because he didn't want to fight. And from her past experiences as well, she's learned that even though I am a boss in other venues of my life, when I come home, I want my man to lead. That's what she said. She wants him to lead. That's what she said. So if we look, and she wants to, when she gets into her marriage, she wants to submit into that role, and he's going to make the decisions for her basically, but she's still going to have input, and he's not going to want, and then she also says, this is why I'm saying she's conflating her ideas. She's like, yes, he's going to lead, but we're going to, you know, he's not going to make decisions by himself. You know, we're going to talk about things, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, girl, what are you saying? Either he's leading and you're submitting, or you're in a partnership. Which one is it? Like, one of the things that I'm glad the other ladies pointed out, Adrian was saying, at the end of the day, when you're in a relationship, there's gonna be not pros and cons, but you know, there's some qualities that your partner has that you lack in, etc. And with those things, you guys are gonna work on those things and balance each other out, right? So if, for example, I'm not as motivated and you're motivated, you're going to push me into this. And if I'm less motivated, I'm going to be like, okay, calm down, smell the roses, whatever, right? You balance each other out. For me, I'm with the side of basically the other three, where like I value a partnership. We're equal. There's nobody that's above here, lower here. We are equal, and the things that I lack in or I'm better at, we balance each other out with regards to those things, right? So I say that again because for me, what she was putting forth doesn't compute, because at one point you're saying you want to submit, and at the other point you're saying basically it's kind of a partnership. So girl, what are you talking about? Okay. And one of the things that she said that I was like, and y'all, you let me know, okay? I don't know if this is how Jeannie Mai talks, okay? But she was basically saying, ladies, my sisters, I'm talking to my sisters, okay? Based on what I've learned, I wish somebody would have told me this, because in order to keep a man, because at the end of the day, a man just wants to protect and provide, right? You basically don't emasculate him. Let him be a man, as she said, whatever that means, right? Who are you talking to? Because for me, she was basically saying, she kept saying, for me, right? But then later on, when you said that statement, you were generalizing it, and you were basically giving a teaching point to other women. Here is what the ideal relationship looks like. This is what I've learned from my past. Girl, take this. And when she said my sister's part, this is where you guys need to educate me, okay? Does Jenny talk like that generally? And some of the vernacular that she was using was quite black. Like, so I was like, are you talking to black women when you talk about this? Are you trying to teach us how to keep a black man because you're with a black man? And I'm saying this to say, because it's like, did you do that when you're with your white man? Did she say my sisters? This is what, or did she say ladies? You get what I'm trying to say? Words are important, okay? Words are very important. So when you use certain words and you use certain vernacular that's not keen to you, it's a little suspect, right? But I'm not going to go too much into that, but I definitely was like, Because again, you kept trying to make it seem like you were just talking about you, your personal life, your situation. But then you made a broad statement saying whatever that means, you know, don't emasculate a man, because at the end of the day, man wants to protect and provide. Treat him like a man. Let him lead. And teaching other women on what to do correctly. That's what you did. If you wanted to say, like how Lonnie was saying, you know, if this is something you guys agree with within your relationship, that's what you guys want to do you. I don't agree with it. I'm not for it, but do you. But don't come out here talking about this, and this, right? And for me, with regards to this this particular topic, it grates my nerve, and a lot of the things that the other lady said, I think Garvelle, I don't know her name, Fancy, I'm gonna call her Fancy because that was her name on Jamie Foxx show. I can't remember her name right now, but Fancy was saying, like, for me, that's a really antiquated point of view. And also Adrian pointed out, with regards to the Bible, you can't take everything at face value because this was a different context, because this was in a different time, right? And how Lonnie was saying, basically, no, this doesn't work, because a lot of men who do think like this, who want a woman in the house to submit to them, will come out in the outside world and also have these values and expect women to behave in this way. You know what I'm trying to say? And that is true. For me personally, right, the Abrahamic religions, because those are the ones I know. So Islam, Judaism, and Christianity in its million forms. Within those religions, it's a patriarchal religion, okay? There is a hegemonical structure within that religion where men are at the apex, okay? Men, God, whatever you want to call it, is at the apex. That's the person that we're looking forward to, or we're looking towards to, for advice, for this, for that, etc., right? And within our world, in the world that we live in as we're practicing these religions, at the end of the day, it's a patriarchal structure. However you want to spin it, slice it, dice it, flip it, whatever. It's a patriarchal structure where women are going to be inferior, right? So for me, that's why I don't fuck with religion for the most part. I don't, okay? If you are religious and that brings you peace and brings you solace, brava, like, continue that. And I wish you the best in that. But when you look at the context of this space within this, the books, within the viewpoints of this thing, it is a patriarchal structure that is going to position men above women, point blank. Y'all can try to justify it and think about it in a different way and spin it to, you know, fit whatever needs that you want it to fit. But at the end of the day, at the core, that's what it is, right? And I know a lot of religious feminists, for me, that's an oxymoron, because it's like, you're within a thing that, but you know, a lot of us do things that don't make sense, but whatever, do you. As long as it makes you happy, do you, and you're not harming anyone. But for me, it's like, when you're in a structure like this and people idealize marriage as this beautiful thing, etc., etc., it's like, girl, at the end of the day, marriage is it's a social contract, a legally binding contract that you're taking, right? And it was used in the past, look it up, do your research, it was used in the past as a way to create bonds with other fighting groups. And it was a means basically used to trade women to create, you know, bonds, better bonds with other people, or to sell off women, really, okay? It's archaic. But even at the end of the day, that's what it is. Even, like, for example, the representation of what that ring means. People think about it, the ring is a union. If you research what the ring actually meant, you're wearing this, and at the time, do some research. You know, if I'm wrong, let me know, educate me, right? But that ring was to show I own this woman, right? But me as a man, I can go around and fuck whoever the fuck I want, have many, many wives, but this one I own, you can't touch her. I eat chastity belts, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so, you know, we're going into different things now, but I'm just saying all of these things to say, when you think about submission now in a modern context, is like, oh my God, I'm yielding to my partner and he's leading or whatever, whatever. But it's like, really, is that really what you want? Or you really just want a partner, and then the days where you're feeling down, you just want him to be like, y'all, you got my back today, and then the other day, I got your back today. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, girl, which one is it? So for me, I'm like, I think she's conflating her ideas, and it didn't really make a lot of sense to me, right? And again, I'm on the end where it's like, I like a partnership. I value a partnership. I don't value anyone above me. Okay, this is not no hegemonic. It's not a hegemony. Okay, you're not going to be superior to me. Okay? We are in this together and we're going to help build each other up. Right? There's no one that's going to be like, babe, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. If there are things that you guys come to an agreement where you say, okay, I'm taking care of this, you take care of this. This is a partnership. You talk about these things. You create whatever partnership you want to look like, right? But there should not be anything where it's like, you know, you lead, you do this. So for example, Jenny, I don't know if she's richer than him or he's richer than her, but let's say she's richer than him and he doesn't want to sign a, what is it called? He doesn't want to sign a prenup. And then he cheats on you, you want to get a divorce, and then he takes half. What you gonna do? Or let's say it's vice versa. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? I don't know their situation, but I'm just using an example. If he's leading and he's making decisions and saying, okay, well, the money that you're making on your show, because maybe you might be richer than me, I don't know. I'm about to go to the household and I don't want you to have a bank account of your own. You know, little things like that. Like, you have to understand when you're saying someone leads, they're the decision makers. They're dictating what is going to happen, what's not going to happen. And yes, y'all can try to conflate it and say, well, no, because he loves me, he'll, you know, keep in mind the things that I like, whatever. Bullshit. At the end of the day, if you're talking about what submission is, that's what it is. You can try to flip it and say, no, well, it's a submission, but also a partnership. Then pick one. But anyways, that's my ideas about that. I thought it was interesting conversation, and it was interesting. That's all I gotta say. But I was just like, okay, whatever, girl. Do you. If it makes you happy, do you. But please be smart in your situation, whatever you're going into. Please protect yourself, whatever that means. You know, legally, financially, etc. Protect yourself, because you never know what could happen in the future, right? And this is for anyone and everyone. But anyways, those are my thoughts with regards to the conversation of The Real and Jeannie Mai, etc. Let me know what your thoughts are below. I'm sure this is going to be a very, the ideas that we're going to have is going to be completely different. But, you know, I'm definitely down to have a discussion. If there's other subjects and topics that you want me to talk about, please let me know. And your girl will be back soon for a new video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Help your girl get to 1,500 subscribers. Check out my other videos. And your girl will be back soon for a new video. Peace out. Bisous and hugs.
Pull up, I pull up, I pull up, I pull up.